Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to today's Doctor Who video where I'm going to be discussing a weird, extreme theory for the future of the show, future of the Chibnall era in fact, that could possibly be wrapped up in 2023 with the 60th anniversary special. But yeah, doesn't really matter when it's wrapped up, could be season 13, could be whenever. Chibnall does like to leave us with little Easter eggs like the Timeless Child. Anyway, let's get straight into the theory. First, before we do, I want to mention that I had a rough idea of this, but I couldn't find too much evidence, and I wasn't going to make a video on it until I saw a tweet from a guy called Redhead Chinny, so check him out, Twitter. His tweet will be on screen now. Check out his YouTube, Vlogsy. He's really quite a good YouTuber. Anyway, the theory. The theory is that Jo Martin plays the 14th Doctor. Now, currently, we are led to believe she is a pre-Hartnell incarnation. Now, this would match up with what we've seen. She's got a classic TARDIS. She's got quite a classic Doctor attitude. And she's seen in The Matrix pre-Hartnell, but then is she? And why is she in The Matrix? All of this is to be explained by the hypothesis. This theory begins at the end of The Timeless Children. Now, we see Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor be arrested by the Judoon for an ongoing case. She's sentenced to life imprisonment by them. Now, what did she do? We don't actually know. Maybe she was framed. Maybe she did some horrific thing. We don't know, and that information isn't key to the theory. What's key is the fact that Judoon leader Ploko Do, or something like that, he is back, and almost the same as Fugitive the Judoon, but slightly different. And we know it's the same Judoon because if you look, his eye has that little white deformation, his other eye is normal, and he has the distinctive Mohican hairstyle. So it's the same Judoon. But unless Judoon can magically grow horns back, his Judoon horn on his head has disappeared. It's gone. He is healed from the attack that Ruth, when she attacked him, gave him in Fugitive of the Judoon. Now, how does a Judoon grow their horn back? They don't, meaning it's logical to assume that this version of the Judoon is one that is before Fugitive of the Judoon, before he gets his horn broken, meaning that they're searching and hunting the Doctor down for a long time. Now, Fugitive of the Judoon, we know that Ruth is hiding from the Judoon. So the theory goes that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor in this year's festive special, or possibly season 13, whenever, she escapes from this prison with her team gang fam and probably Captain Jack. She goes to Earth and there's a horrific Dalek invasion. She's just learnt the Timeless Child secret. It's screwed her head up. She's learnt about the Daleks. She's learnt about everything. She cannot mentally cope. So, after maybe a companion death or something horrific happens to her, she meets Lee, the guy we see in Fugitive of the Judoon. She then, to hide from the Judoon, wipes her memory and regenerates into a new incarnation, into the 14th Doctor, that of Jo Martin. She becomes Jo Martin's Doctor. She then uses the chameleon arc to wipe her memory, wipe her trace of Time Lord so the Judoon can't find her, and she turns herself into a human. This human being Ruth Clayton, who is a tour guide from 21st century Gloucestershire. She stays there until just by chance Jodie Whittaker's Doctor bumps into her, helps her uncover the secret, and then Ruth remembers, all she remembers is that she's the Doctor. She can't place herself in a timeline, she doesn't know when, even though we know she's the 14th Doctor, she doesn't. So, quick recap of where we're at. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is on the run for a crime that the Judoon have accused her of. She goes back to Earth, something bad happens, she then regenerates into Ruth. Ruth then wipes her memory and disguises herself as a human to hide from the Judoons so that she isn't captured and put back in prison. Now, this would also explain, 1, how the Judoon got his horn back, 2, why Ruth's Doctor is too smart to need a sonic screwdriver, she's advanced, she knows more, why she's quite dark, because she's witnessed the Timeless Child's secret. She's witnessed all this, and it's kind of screwed with her head. Also, it explains why Ruth has a police box TARDIS, because Hartnell, in the Caveman story, the second ever Doctor Who episode, steps out of the TARDIS and wonders why it's still a 50s police box, and why it hasn't changed back or blended in with its surroundings. This would make perfect coherent sense, as, yeah, Ruth is a post-Whittaker iteration of the Doctor. She could always fit in with the Series 7B theory, but for the sake of this, because that's a whole other theory, we'll just say she's the direct predecessor to Jodie Whittaker. It would also explain why Ruth appears to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor in The Matrix, because she has been through that already. She knows what's happening. She wants to guide the 13th Doctor. It would also explain why she seems so much more wise and so much more at grasp and at ease with what happened to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And it makes sense why she'd say, well, you're still the Doctor. Even if you didn't know you had previous lives, you are still who you are, and that's important to you, because she herself has finally come to terms with that. It's kind of like the bootstrap paradox. It all links back because she kicked it off to help herself, which helped herself in the future so she could go back in time and help her younger self. It's really complicated, but it's not past the realm of possibility. This also blends perfectly with Chibnall's writing style of leaving lots of little seeds and mystery, like the Ghost Monument's Timeless Child mention, for people to figure out years in advance. And a plot this big could be the 60th anniversary. Maybe, maybe not. This division of Gallifrey, whatever that she's running from, could that be a restarted Gallifreyan civilization? A new version that the Doctor is key to? Could it be some past version? Like, there's a lot of against for this theory, like the Time Lords are still alive, and in our current version of Doctor Who, we know the Time Lords are dead. So, yeah, I'm not too sure how that could fit in. Maybe she does make a new race of Time Lords, and the Master does, or something, because I heard the theory that if there's a death particle created through the lone Cyberman, then if the Doctor used the Cyberium, she could make a life particle and refresh all of Gallifrey and Time Lords, etc., etc., etc. This would also be a really interesting, wibbly-wobbly, timey plot that would confuse a lot of general audiences, but then we know that Chibnall is not afraid to do that because of the Timeless Children. And we still don't know if that's true. We don't actually know if the Timeless Children's reveal is true, because the only thing that said the Timeless Child is the Doctor is the Master's word. We never actually saw the Doctor being the Timeless Child in The Matrix. We saw the story of the Timeless Child, then it stops, it cuts out, and then we have to assume that the Master is telling the truth. Yes, he claims he is, but then, is he? Is everything you think you know truly a lie? Or is the Master just lying? The Master of Deception. Anyway, that pretty much does bring us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, remember to like, comment, subscribe. But before you do, please join in the collab, which should be coming out in a few days, where I challenge you to review Doctor Who Series 12 episodes with just one word and just one number. So yeah, please join out. It'd be really helpful and it would be great to see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.